Howdy, friends and floorheads. Welcome to Blade Runner 2040. In the forensics lab, Mirren signs for Guillermo's sat crystal brought back from Canaan headquarters by retrieval drone. Throughout the afternoon, she meticulously reconstructs the crystal alignment until she finally retrieves two media files. Ray's is sitting on an exam table in a sterile biomedical lab. A proud Dr. Lenore Ackerman strides confidently into the room carrying medical charts. Your recent tests were successes, Rays. Your ability to collate the raw data is more efficient than we ever dared hope. She places her hand on his shoulder and, when whatever response she expects isn't forthcoming, rubs his upper arm. He remains impassive and she blushes, though continues the rubbing absent-mindedly until the awkwardness brings her back. She removes her hand. Let's examine your core memory. I developed that, you know. I wanted you to have a happy one. Nexus models are not so lucky. She smiles knowingly, eagerly awaiting his response. What do you think of Maria? Ray's dutifully begins his introspection. We copulated. He responds in a deep, sonorous voice, looking up at Ackerman querulously. I'm not sure she enjoyed it. Dr. Ackerman hugs her clipboard to her chest in a defensive posture. You made love to her, Rays, and she very much did. Rays considers this for a moment while regarding Ackerman critically. No, lovemaking is a sentimental act. After a long moment, Ackerman drops her eyes to the charts where she does not seem to find the reprieve she seeks. Rays continues to regard her coolly until a look of mild disgust crosses his face. The memory is interspersed with another. Yes, Ackerman quickly chirps. That informs your main directive. The idea is nonlinear memories promote a wider temporal perspective. Reyes has been looking at his hands in something approaching horror. Does the human body really hold so much blood? Finding her spine, Ackerman retorts, it is a memory, RZE 157A1Z. It uses figurative hypnagogic language filtered through your frontal cortex. Isn't it gratuitous? Ackerman stares at Reyes for a moment, not fully comprehending what he just said. Then, with some suspicion setting in, gratuitous. That's the language of your ideological adversaries. You don't see yourself that way, because you act with necessity, not indulgence. Everything you do serves Canaan's interests, ensures your own survival. That memory isn't excess, it was purpose, it was efficiency. Just as the old Schutzhuns were trained to enjoy the bite, what's wrong with your eye? Reyes had touched his face and was regarding the slick water on his fingertip, rolling it between thumb and forefinger. He wiped it on the white paper lining of the exam table, telling Ackerman, nothing, madam. It is simply the mind settling into the physical form. Communications from the Shekinah's Wrath. Captain Gideon Holst to all forces engaged at Shenyang, Spacetime GPC 440317512990. Captain, third company is below capability, flatlining at 51%. Push failsafe to all dropships. Confirm command order. Capital officers, return to orbit. Pull back from gravity well. Continue to 3AU and begin FTL translation. What about Chimera units, sir? They're holding at Ramanuja Station. The answer to that is 6 months away, Mr. Liaison. What does Haverford's talking head say? A staticky voice from the planet breach comes over the comms. Rescind the fail-safe. You can still scoop my company. Negative, Tetra Commander. There's too much sensitive information that may be compromised. Damn you. Catch that ship. If we blow, we'll take them with us. I don't care. Blow the atmosphere. Damn. And a hideous squelch interrupts the voice, leaving just static. Captain Haverford, sorry. Captain Haverford's organic simulacrum says Kanan can't afford the visibility. Pay Ramanuja reparations to pass through and cut Chimera loose. Well, that's it, gentlemen. We played out our hand. You executed on my orders. Well done. Damn, man, we just iced more of our guys than the Shinnies did. The Shekinah's Wrath, along with the Maccabee and the Sword of El, continued unmolested beyond the gravitic influence of Shenyang's stellar primary, before engaging the inertial dampening drives that would suspend their mass and propel them back to a pale gray dot. Why don't we roll those opening credits?
Live. All right, Connell. I know where we left off, but where are we starting?
So, let's set the scene again, because I need to be clear on a couple of things. When you were talking to Iris, you saw the shadowy figures outside of the front door, more or less.
She had mentioned she thought she might have been followed. Yep.
Right. You marched out of the door with your blaster drawn. I got the impression that you walked right up to Rue Hoskins, who was the leader of the trio that had the guns. Is that accurate?
But not within arm's reach. So I would have definitely kept probably a good 5-6 feet between us. So I didn't put the gun to his head, but
right. Okay.
There'd be a little bit of distance.
So he gave his shotgun to his two assistants, and they left.
Yep.
Okay. So since you are in close range, you are not at disadvantage with this shot. And because you had it out, technically it's not an ambush, but I think we're going to give you the first shot outside of initiative order.
Okay.
So if you would go ahead and make your firearms.
All right, firearms roll. Damn it.
So what does that look like? Because his last words were before you shot, if you don't kill me, I'm going to keep coming after her.
Check the safety. Check the safety.
I think that I didn't study myself, so I'm looking backwards to make sure she's gone. And once I realize this is going to happen, so I look back and come up, and he maybe has shifted a little bit, and I didn't adjust. So, and I also give him credit for moving. So yeah, I think it just flies past him.
Okay, no push.
I don't think so.
Well, let us. I don't have him on the board. Oh, yeah, I do. Let us go ahead and start initiative then.
All right.
I guess I'll have to do this manually. There is combat.
All right, and I will.
Is it not on there?
Came and went.
Let's try this again.
Yep, there we go.
Okay.
All right, so I will draw my card. Draw one.
Nice.
Daddy likes.
Okay. Well, let's begin. You have just taken a shot, which he anticipated and sort of, dodged out of the way. It went wild. How are you going to approach this now?
I think first I need to get a sense of the half second after I made the shot. Does he have a weapon I don't know about that he's reaching for? Is he trying to close the distance?
No, actually, he is. Well, he is trying to. He's taking a step forward,
Okay.
but he's kind of got his hands up.
Even after I shot?
Chief. Even after you shot. Whoa, Chief. In a Cajun accent. We're gonna say. I may drift in and out of it, but we'll see.
Okay.
But no, he does not seem to be rattled.
Oh, Farvig Nugan. He made it clear, like, this is what he made his intentions clear. I'm going to shoot him again. So I'm going to take a little bit of a half step back, and just take his, regardless of how casual he is, shoot again. And it also greatly increases my belief that he might be a replicant. So,
well, actually, let me ask you this, because you have 3 different forms of ammo in your blaster. You have a 44 caseless, you have a 222 rifle round for long distance shooting, but you also have a sonic stun round, which will do minimal critical damage because I remember you actually said you weren't trying to kill him last time. So if that is your intention, that does do the minimal amount of critical crushing damage.
yeah, and remind me, can I switch between them, or do I have to?
Freely.
Is that a reload?
No,
okay,
you can
so
do
I'm
it freely.
definitely going to hit him with a sonic then.
Okay. And being ranged combat, he does not get a defense. Okay. Well, once again, so I think switching to the sonic round, I don't think you've taken the shot yet. I think instead you're just fumbling with the selector. Would you like to push?
I'm a little frazzled. I am going to push this one. I'm just a little
Okay.
frazzled. I mean, just this entire thing is just very discomforting to me.
It happens to everyone.
Oh, thanks. Thanks. I drank some bourbon.
Not everybody.
Yeah. So, like,
This is public.
shoot can talk you off a meat wagon, but apparently I can't shoot shit. So,
he is stepping forward to engage. It's like, whoa, Chief. And it looks like he is going to just try to pin you up against the outside of the tea house. Now, this is going to be a close combat encounter. So even though you're holding a gun, you do technically get a defense roll. So both of us will roll our melee combat.
Yep. Hand to hand, right?
Oh, hand to hand, yes. And this is the one complaint I have against Free League games is they changed the name of their skills. So...
God bless America. Well, he sucked too.
He failed as well.
Slap fest.
Well, so I think what he's doing, he has managed to maybe enclose the distance, and he's pushed you a little bit, but he doesn't have a hold, and there is no sort of effect on your constraining your movements in any way. As you are. Before we go into the next round, as you are sort of grappling with him, dispatch comes over everyone's Kia, cuts into everyone's channel, and states, your mystery replicant RZE has been sighted at Lumina Lux Atelier, which Shriver has identified as the location that the anonymous tip for Felix Dartman came from. It is also just down the street, about a half mile from Kai. No, not half mile. We'll say about an eighth of a mile. And before we get Kai's reaction to that, let's step back a little bit and find Shriver and Guillermo. Shriver, you hightailed it to the top of the LAPD headquarters to jump in your spinner and have gone airborne. Was it your intention to go to Shu?
Yes, gunning it to Shu.
Okay.
Because he dropped code, and that is the, oh shit, I need help.
So you are in Sector 5, which is sort of in the southern part of LA, while Shu and Kai are both in Sector 1, which is the northernmost district. This will take you some time, but I think we can sort of mini game this. So we're going to start with 4 rounds on the clock and make a driving roll. And for every success, it reduces the time by 1.
Nice.
Okay. With my spinner, I get a D10. So, woo, thank you.
Very
There
nice.
you go, baby.
All right.
It will take you
2 had me worried. Okay.
It will have you 2 rounds. Well, I should say you can push this now. So what does this look like first? You've lifted off in a hurry, and you are just gunning it to the north.
Yeah, no, I mean, I parkour across the hood. I actually tear my pants a little bit on the hole that was punched in my hood that hasn't been fixed yet. But slide across that, have a little gash, jump in the door. Fife, my hand immediately starts tearing into me for the state of my clothing. And it's not funny, honestly. It's just not funny, but it keeps going at me anyway. Power up the spinner and just blast right off the platform. A little bit at a can't because, there's still a little bit of damage from the earlier fight. I probably not pushing it though, because as I'm getting that from dispatch, I'm also trying to connect with Kai and let her know that Shu's in trouble. So I think I'm not pushing this because I'm doing something else and I'm letting Kai in the loop.
So as we sync everybody up, let's go to Guillermo. Guillermo, you have already dispatched the sat crystal that you found by retrieval drone back to LAPD headquarters, the RIT crime lab. You have in your presence, before you enter your spinner, Serena Devine, who is a private eye who has very often done consulting work for the LAPD. Your commanding officer, David Holden, has put her on the case for you to assign as you need. The way we do this is it's just like you can, you can call in to the mainframe to get information by paying a promotion point and making a tech roll. Well, in this case, you can assign her a duty, paying a promotion or a chinion, and make a connections roll. And that will really sort of, we're abstracting it to represent her efficiency and efficacy in doing that order. And if you pay 2 promotion or 2 chinion, you get advantage on that connection roll. And anybody can do this, incidentally. Anybody in the task force. But for right now, she is in
all
your.
of us. Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha.
she's your gopher at the moment. So before you get into your spinner, what would you like her to do?
I'm gonna have Serena really start combing through all of the footage in the neighboring areas to see if there's anything that's spotted out of left field. Usually this is the perfect analysis that Shriver would tackle because he just knows patterns and knows what goes against those. But they're on other. Actually, I don't know that they're on that other activity. Yeah, let's have Serena comb through the footage and whatever that looks like, and I would do 2 chinion to get that extra bump in that.
Actually, for this, I don't think you need to. She can just do this without. It's not any special, technical task on her part. So she's in a. That she actually suffers from multiple sclerosis, advanced MS. She uses a mobility assisting device powered by spinner technology. So you see her sort of lift off, just to hover a few feet off the ground, and she says, in her alluring Caribbean accent, "Yes, sir, boss." And she heads off, allowing you to get into your spinner. Now, for convenience, I'm going to say that you check in. Everybody checks in so that at this point, everybody has access to everybody else's comms, unless for some reason you want to be cut out. And so that you can begin to share knowledge. But where would you like to go?
Well, it's pretty important to note that not one person here respects the chain of command that I am the lead investigator here, guys. Nobody called me and let me know. So I'm gonna have a talk with Shu later.
I can talk to you now if you want to come over.
This is Nick the player talking, not Guillermo. It's too soon. I'm not there yet. No, but I think at the end, it's reaching out to the crew. We share the information, trying to figure out what's going on. My priority is Shu's safety. So once I understand that there's code about him needing backup, if it's still applicable and we're still at that stage, I'm calling dispatch and getting backup sent immediately. Because I know that I'm in another sector far away. So
All right,
getting
same
him the
deal.
support he needs.
Sure, same deal. So where you're heading to Sector 1, correct?
The location where the raise was spotted, what sector was that in?
Also Sector 1.
I'm heading that way. Done. That's where I need to go.
So to be clear, though, are you going to raise the Lumina Lux, or are you going to Shu's tea house?
Shu's tea house, unless things
Okay.
better, and then I'll redirect to.
Same deal. 4 rounds less whatever your success on your driving roll is.
While he's rolling, Kai, did you tell him? Because I didn't tell him.
I may have mentioned it. He also may have a force open communication with Shu, so
Should I not roll? Is this like
No, you can't. Yeah.
Kate? What are you doing?
Never give this table an opportunity to be subversive. We're always going to take it.
All right, so
And a D10 maneuverability die. Yeah, you go.
Man, what a start, kids.
Well, one
the
of that
D8.
should have been a D10, not a D8, right?
Yeah.
So you know what? Let me check this.
Oh, there it goes. Never mind.
Wow. So
See you on Thursday.
you're going to be a couple rounds behind
See you on Thursday.
I'm stuck behind the
Driver.
Professor X.
Kai. Last but not least, where
okay.
the object of your query, of your official query, is just down the street. Closer than Shu, I have to say.
I'm gonna patch into everyone. How many is hitting on to Shu's way to help him right now?
Guillermo's in route.
Club
I've got
music
backup
blasting
heading that way.
on the way.
If backup is going to, I'm going to go where Ray's was last spotted.
Okay.
I can't. Kai, if you're heading to Ray's, I'll meet you there. There is backup en route, and I think I heard Shriver's en route, although his music is blowing way too loud. I didn't understand what he said, but I think his air tag that I have on him shows he's en route there. So we should be good. I will actually redirect, and I will meet Kai at the location.
And I'm gonna say, don't die, Shu. Don't have me have too much faith in you.
So, Kai, how are you making this approach? Are you running? Are you just walking very fast? Are you drawing your weapon and running with it?
I am doing a very quick pace walk because I'm not that far away. I don't want to use my bike. That's going to cause more eyes on me. So I want to walk fast, but when I get there, I'm going to slow down and enter the place as if I'm just a casual patron.
Just don't
Sure.
look like you're trying to be casual.
I'm trying.
So I think make an observation check.
Okay.
And one other note. So for Shriver is the only one of you who has not had a shift of downtime yet, and we have technically sort of moved into another shift. So Shriver, take a point of resolve damage, but because you also have the smoking specialty, we can say that those two counteract if you want to use that in your once per shift ability.
Yeah, no, there's definitely a cigarette like held in Fife's hand, and yeah.
Connell, real quick, I just
Sure.
realized in the resource request, there's drone surveillance.
Mhm.
Bet your ass this guy is going to spend his chin yang to get drone surveillance on site, since it's going to take me, with how I roll, 4 full segment time nuggets, whatever,
Okay.
to get there. So I'm going to call in drone surveillance to cover the area and try to get that coverage.
Sure.
Where Kai is, right?
Yes. Yeah, where the rays. was spotted.
Assuming, Lumina Lux, the location that
Lux,
raises that. Go ahead and make a spend a chinion or 2 if you want advantage on the roll, and make a tech roll.
Tech roll. I will. Yeah, I'll do 2 Chinyan.
So roll it at advantage.
There you go.
Bam.
All right.
2
It
drones.
will,
Sorry.
it will be, well, it just means it's going to be there quick. That's a critical. So it will be there pretty much at the same time, Kai.
Kai, I called in a drone. It's above you. It was in the area. If you need any help and assistance, we've got backup coming. Be careful.
Absolutely. I cannot beat this replicant hand to hand.
I can't beat shit hand to hand.
You're playing finger guns over there.
I can't
to
beat
shoot.
an egg.
And while in person, I normally do hidden initiative in each round, but I think for purposes of this app, we'll just stick with the initiative as we've drawn it.
Sure.
So that puts it at your turn.
I'm trying to, as he's closing in on me, I'm going to try to kick him center of mass, create a little bit more distance. So I'll do a hand to hand if that's all right.
Sure. Well, let's clarify. Are you just trying to push him back, or are you trying to do damage?
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, one will accomplish the other. So if I hurt him, he'll go back, I think.
All right. Make your roll. He will get a defense. So right now, he can't push, obviously, because you're the attacker. But it looks like he's sort of gauging you already. Now he walks with a limp, so that's, I think, throwing you off a little bit, right? You think he's going to make a steady move towards you, but he sort of favors the other leg and skips around you. You do have time to correct.
Yeah,
If you'd
I'm not really a fighter. I think that I think if anything, I'm gonna yell into the tea house. I'd like for, either there to be, if there's not a bouncer, I'm hoping that I've made friends at some point with somebody on the staff who's bigger than me. So whatever that person's name is, Coy, I was thinking I'm basically calling for help.
Rue, this gentleman. Now, remember, I described him as a hollow man who capers to his own dance macabre. He still has his hands up, trying to appear, you think, as non-confrontational or non-threatening as possible. Whoa, Chief. I promise you she won't feel no pain. And he's actually going to maintain engaged distance, but he's not going to attack.
Fair.
So let's go to that third round. And at the end of this round, Shriver will be making an appearance in his spinner. So what do you want to do for this third round?
He's just making me angrier with his little comments. And even though physically he's not, wanting to fight me, him talking about taking care of her is enraging me. So, am I successful getting help? Do I have somebody in the tea house with my city speak connections that would
I don't think so.
okay.
I'm not going to ask for a manipulation roll because I think it's known that both sides of this conflict are known, and I don't think either, because we specifically said that this is not a Yakuza property, so I think without protection, they are not going to get involved.
Great. We established he's a little bit smaller than me, so now I'm just trying to I want to keep him away from the door. So I'm going to try to throw him to the ground, so that he cannot get. I'm trying to buy Iris time at this point.
Right.
So similar situation, even though I'm doing it differently. I want to hurt him and slow him down.
All right, make your roll. Whoa.
Yeah, so
That's
I physically grab him and try to toss him down, but he's got a center of gravity that I just, son of a bitch. And I swear to God, if Bookworm comes here and rescues me, I'd rather get my shit kicked out.
Well, let's move to Shriver's perspective real quick. So, Shriver, as you are racing through the city, closing in on this location of the tea house, and you do a little bit of aerial reconnaissance, and you see behind the tea house two figures with guns that are retreating back to the front, and a still body
Oh, if they
on
killed
the
her.
pavement. You also see Shu squaring off with this gentleman in a sort of a trench coat.
Okay. Yeah, so I imagine like I've come around the back,
Mhm.
and in the distance, I think Shu would be the only one that would notice the sound.
Okay.
It's like,
Yeah,
I hear music.
it's a very distinctive sound, sure.
Yeah. But I spin around through the back, see that that's not Shu, and I would come up over the top of the building and basically be dropping down over the front door once I can see, and it's full spotlights on, Blade Runner police vehicle, but also PA system blasting. So it's like Ride of the Dubstep Valkyrie as he just drops the spinner within a couple of feet and just holds a gun out the window and then says, pretty much shouts over the noise, "You're done. Walk away."
Adding you to the combat with an initiative of 10. Kai, how did your observation roll turn out?
I was waiting, so give me a
Oh.
second. Really bad.
Dude,
Really bad.
Horrible.
I'm going to delete this entire instance on Founder.
You are focused, right? You are hyper focused. Your situal awareness is suffering because of it. Tell us where your mindset is, and also I think there's something that I've forgotten to mention again or reiterate. You do get, if you interact with your key memory, you can get advantage on a roll. Now, I don't think you can do it just yet, or in the middle of this particular roll, but that is something to remember going forward.
Okay.
And you get a humanity point for it as well. So tell us, where is Kai's mind? Why is she so narrow in her focus?
So she is on the mission, but her conversation with Magda, even and she came outside of herself a bit, even though she won, she didn't gain anything from it, but baseline rookie information. She's better than that. So that instance of failure is still running through her head as she's trying to be like, it's fine. We'll go back and fix that if somehow she's still alive and get to this place.
You are drawing near Lumina Lux with all that in mind, and you can see a man. You can see that you've already seen him on video, right? You see Rays. He is exiting Lumina Lux with some sort of electronic equipment, and he's placing it in a ground truck. You see him, and he sees you. What are you doing at that moment?
Huh. Call over. Call over the radio. Yeah, if you guys can get here as soon as possible, that'd be great. I'm looking right at Rays and he is looking at me.
You get to, that'd be great. And a metric ton of anemoids slams into you from your side, springing out of an alleyway, throwing you into an opposing wall, and is slumped on your chest.
This is the tiger?
This is the tiger.
Son of a monkey.
Well, hang on. So you will take. Did we not add the roll macro? Yes, there we did.
None.
Could the drone surveillance provide any kind of offset or any benefit?
It's arriving there at the same time.
Okay.
So let me get this here. And you will take. You will take 2 points of damage. But more importantly, for a replicant who already is low on resolve, this is a stress 3 event, which means you have to make an insight roll. Every success that you get reduces the resolve damage by 1.
Come on.
As it starts with his eyes, right? They begin to narrow. The top of the tiger's nose crinkles, the top of its lip curls, and it roars. So let's get that insight roll.
All right. We're good at this.
You are good at this. You take no resolve.
Beautiful.
Why is this?
Thank
God. This tiger lets out a high decibel roar. So why does it not shake Kai?
I had to work with Shu for the first time yesterday. I've been through worse. We also finally found this fucking tiger. It's excitement.
Well, I think it's more accurate to say it found you. In fact, it takes a sniff. And you can see and the drone is picking all of this up now, and Guillermo at least is viewing it in real time. You see that Rays has actually stopped and is cautiously watching that take place.
You better get there, Guillermo. I'm not kidding.
Can I pull out my gun?
You absolutely may take a shot, but
okay.
Let me just say that it takes, after its roar, begins to sniff around your person. Now, take a shot. Because you are at engaged range, it will be at a disadvantage. You can use either your 44 caseless, which is your main bread and butter. You can use your stun round, but you may not use your 222, which is a long round anyway, but it requires you to manually load each round.
I actually have a question. Listening to the whole statement, it's not attacking me, it's sniffing me.
It depends on how it is currently sniffing you, but you could call the ambush an attack if you want.
I mean, he slammed you into the wall, Kai.
Yes, that is true.
We've already
I'm
got one
gonna.
Blade Runner that doesn't kill replicants. We don't need to.
It's not that. It's just a giant tiger. I can kill a replicant. You know what? Fuck it. We'll see how this works. I'm gonna keep my gun out,
Okay.
and because I'm not necessarily terrified of it,
Mhm.
I'm going to allow it to sniff me.
Interesting. So, Guillermo, you see that Reyes is actually quite interested in the tiger's reaction, but decides discretion is the better part of valor and gets into his truck and drives away. Begins to drive away. You may send the drone after him if you'd like.
As soon as I see Kai getting attacked, or I see this animoid coming out, it's all hands on deck on the radio, on the Kia. We've got a situation. Kai's got an animoid. We need backup. Shriver, Shu, what's your 20? How quickly can you get over?
I'm all tied up with this freaking Hollow Man, and you know, and Shriver's doing the right thing, and I just go. I'm just yelling as soon as I get that on there.
And then I direct the surveillance drone to follow the Rays while I focus on getting people to Kai immediately. That is priority number one. Secondary is play catch up with the drone.
The tiger, after Reyes has left and after he's had a good sniff, lets out another. If you have decided you're not going to do anything else, lets out another roar, sort of into the air, and then retreats back into the alleyway, the darkened alleyway, disappearing from your sight. Shriver, Shu, and Rue. I think
It's my initiative, right?
it is your initiative, but I think let's say that Rue's companions come back around. They have their guns trained on Shriver, so they will be entering the combat as well.
And I still don't know Iris is dead. I swear to God, when I find out.
So, Shu.
I'm trying
It
to
is
get
your
him to the ground. I want to get him to the ground. I want to be dominating him physically on top of him.
Okay.
So it's going to be another hand to hand.
It's going to be hand to hand, but it's not going to be direct damage. It's going to be. It sounds like you're trying to just grapple him.
Essentially, yeah.
Okay. It's
Hey,
very
did
much
you guys
like
know you could get cheap viewers. Wow, I wish had I known that.
I'll take them.
Sorry. Yeah, I just banned them. All right, hand to hand.
All right, make your.
Come on now.
You can do it.
He's actually going to try to match you.
Oh,
God damn it!
It's just not what I'm good at. This is not what I'm good at. I should be calling the fight, not in the fight.
Let's see here.
I am going to push this. So
Okay, so he has also not going for damage. He was going for grapple as well. So you two are sort of just squaring off, and I think maybe we're doing sort of classic sort of martial arts where you're trying to grab his elbows and lock him.
I think it's just messy. I don't think there's any technique happening here at this point.
Okay.
And I think my push is coming from realizing that his friends have come back. So
Okay.
I was feeling great because Shriver's here. This is great. But now I hear Kai's in danger because she found the tiger. And so my push is like, I don't have time. Like,
All right.
I don't have time. So I'm
Let her
gonna
rip.
push.
And you get a critical.
There we go. Finally.
Taking him to the ground.
And I'm on top of him, and I've got My blaster on his temple.
I think thug number 1 is just going to. I think they see Shriver as the bigger threat, so they are going to fire at Shriver, but they're not aiming for damage. They're actually just trying to lay down some cover fire, which will do resolve damage.
That's kind of a cool mechanic. I like that.
Okay.
Hmm.
Just getting me to bugger off, basically. Yeah.
But they are not going to go full auto with these, I don't think. But because you're in the car, wow,
Nope.
This is
Yes.
not from him.
good. Good.
Let's see. Man, this app is like slow. It's got like a lag time of. Oh, well, I'll just do disadvantage for him. Neither of them do any significant. They don't manage to. They just go wild, right? They're not even anywhere near. So Rue, I think he is underneath Shu at this point, and I think he's aware that his thugs have come back as well, and he is going to say he's going to flag them back, telling them no, stop firing in his Cajun accent, and he is going to not try to escape from your grapple. And that leaves Jesse. Shriver, what's he doing? You've got the
Yeah.
2 thugs who have been told to stand down.
Right. And unfortunately, Shu's on top of the guy now. Okay. I'm gonna spin the spinner, but basically bring it around so the passenger side is towards Shu. Pop the door, and I'm gonna say, "Girl bolted," and I'm waiting for Shu to jump in.
I think we can go to the next round. We don't have to skip around. Shu, what you doing?
I'm cuffing him.
Okay. Oh, Chief. Think about what you're doing.
I'm not saying anything to him.
I don't think he's putting up a fight. You can cuff him.
I'm cuffing him, and we're both going into the passenger side door. He's going into the back.
He's actually okay. He's going to allow himself to be escorted, and he nods, or he just sort of motions with his chin. His 2 thugs away. We're not doing anything about them, correct?
Correct. I want him in the car. When we get into the spinner, I'm not even gonna say anything. I think I don't know what you're thinking, Shriver, but I'm not saying anything to you. And I just have my gun. I'm turned around with him in the back seat. And I've just got my blaster pointed at him.
And he is just completely enmeshed in like cup ramen boxes.
Exactly.
So,
Just covered. I love it.
So let's go clean up with. I think we can end combat at that point. Let's go back to Guillermo, who is arriving at Lumina Lux while Kai is dusting herself off and standing up. So where are we, Kai? What happened there?
Yeah. Get up. Dust off. I see Guillermo comes. I'm gonna say I'm going back for my bike. Follow the car. The tiger's gone. And I'm gonna start hobbling, like hobbling back to my bike. And then I want to put out an APB on the truck that I've seen.
Okay.
I'm getting into over the radio.
So Guillermo, until you tell me otherwise, you're watching the chase between the drone and Ray's, and he seems to be hightailing it sort of to the southeast, trending in a southerly direction towards Sector 5. Well, through Sector 4, and he's currently sort of closing in on Sector 5. As you approach on your spinner, you see that the front of the Lumina Lux Atelier, which you've, because it's free information, you've dialed it up on your Kia as well, and you found that it is owned and operated by a Dr. Lance Penfield, and it is a beauty shop where they surgically enhance individuals with cybernetics. There's only one other employee, and that is a Max Harper. She is 35 years old and has been on Earth, or her family has migrated off of Earth, and she has remained. And that's the only real public information that you've got on her. You've got her taxes and everything, but she and both of those people should be in Lumina Lux.
I'm going to reach out to Serena Devine and see if she can pull up any research resources, other activity that may or may not have happened in and around the Lumina Lux. Start gathering that data, and I'm reaching out to everybody on the Kia to get to the vehicle that the Rays was in and catch up with this drone. That is priority number one, stopping this thing.
Okay.
And I'm going to hightail it straight there, ignoring the beauty shop.
Okay, so you're going to leave Kai to do Kai at the Lumina Lux if she stays.
Kai's
Actually, I think
grabbing her bike, right?
You tell me. Yeah.
well, but it's just not that far away. So I tell you what, at this point, why don't we all sort of get into a conference mode? So everybody's sort of in different locations, but you can communicate via your Kia. Shriver and Shu are currently, I believe, in the air with Rue Hoskins in custody. Guillermo is heading towards Sector 5, and Kai we'll say she's retrieved her bike by now.
Okay.
And after a dirty look, Shriver starts chasing the van. We just have a guest.
And remind me, Connell, like the way that the spinners do work, is there do I have to, is he safe back there? Do I need to stay on top of him, or do we have like a cop car where there's a separate separation between us and him?
Well, normally you do not transport prisoners or people in custody in the spinner, so there isn't any sort of barrier. But I assumed you cuffed him behind his back?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't seem to be putting up any sort of a fight. In fact, the only other words out of him is, sorry about the paperwork, Chief. As for chasing the ground truck, I assume you mean Rays. Is that correct, Shriver?
Mhm.
I think he's got a far enough head start that you're better off just tracking with the drone, and not we wouldn't really consider it a pursuit from where you are.
But we're still going after him. We're just not in a chase, right?
Sure. So you're basically heading towards Sector 5 in general, which is where he seems to be.
I mean, I already have a pretty strict conversation with air traffic control after this is all over anyway, so I didn't mind the idea.
So before we move into another sort of plot point, why don't you guys talk amongst yourselves as you would in character?
Okay.
You okay, Kai?
Yes. Found the tiger. It threw me into a wall, sniffed me, ran away. I think I gotta pop my joint back in place, but I'm good. Do y'all need me on this pursuit against Rays, or speak to the owners of the establishment?
I mean, I don't. It depends on how fast you can get on your bike. But Kai, I think we got Guillermo. Are you headed? You following the drone too?
Yeah, I'm en route. I'm closer than anybody at this point. If you guys can get to the area to react to wherever I can meet up, or this guy stops. And yeah, Kai, if you're not at 100% to chase, there's plenty to do there.
I can make it if you need me.
Well, get on that bike and come on. Your bike's faster than my spinner, so
I'll send dispatch out to hold anybody that was in that building.
Smart.
Nice.
She
To hold
sounds
whoever's
irritated.
in Luminolux, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Just full police lockdown.
And we'll try to get into the pattern following that truck. I don't trust the cams to keep up with him. He already ditched CCTV and knows what he's doing.
That's smart. You lose him just after DNA Row, Piss Alley, sort of. You're fairly sure he went into Sector 5, but somehow either dodging through the traffic or knowing the placement of the cameras, he even avoids the drone.
Anybody have any idea of where he might be headed?
Actually, you guys make whoever has the best connections roll. Go ahead and make that for us.
I'm a 10-10.
I'm a 10-12.
I have insider, so I get advantage to connections rolls.
Only when you're trying to get. Let me review that real quick.
I have
I'm
a
pretty
skill
sure
called
here-
that.
Called what?
Called connections. I
Oh,
have
nice.
something called connections.
Yes, the skill is connections. Insider is a specialty which adds advantage when you're trying to get requisitions. Actually, so let me read
I
that.
guess I could have used that for the drone, although I killed it anyway.
You still stuck in traffic there?
Maybe.
So it sounds like Kai has the best connections at 10-12.
Oh God. I
Yeah, I don't
can't.
have
I
much.
can't re-roll though, but I'll try.
Go ahead and take your second. Add one promotion back, Guillermo.
Okay.
Yep. Let the connections roll go.
Come on, Kai.
Okay, let's do
You
it.
cannot
We
push
gotta
this one
do it.
though.
Doesn't need to.
Okay.
One success.
Craig, that's how you do it right there. Just saying.
A win is a win.
Let me see. Let me pull up. Activate. There we go. Can you all see the map?
Yep.
All right.
Yes.
So everybody but Guillermo is right around this location here. And you lost him right around here. Kai, you think he's actually somewhere, he's using the LAPD headquarters area, right
Mhm.
around the that section and into the Grand Central Market as a way, because there's just way too much traffic. There are actually very few Esper cameras pointed at the LAPD headquarters. So you think he's using that to confuse the chase assets, and then
Okay.
double backing probably to Grand Central, which is the busiest traffic and easiest to get lost in.
Yep, I will share that with the team.
And we have a description of what this thing looks like because we have it on
We've seen
camera.
about
You have
We've
video.
got CCTV.
Yep,
see
you have
video.
his tags and everything.
Um,
Yeah, we got that APB out there. So
we got the APB out. Yeah. Okay. I mean, we could easily, I don't know if it does this any good, but starting to get a lot of these areas that we think he might go to heavily patrolled, looking for this guy, the transport, the airports, the train stations, etc. Calling in those in order to try to prohibit him from leaving the area.
you're not
Do
leaving
we
town.
have the ability to like start shutting down roads? Would that cost points?
So I think this is going to require, for Guillermo's request, it's going to require 2 promotion points. and you guys can collectively add this in, or 2 Chinian. So 2 promotion or 2 Chinian, and Guillermo automatically gets advantage on it.
I'll do
I've
2
got more than
promotion.
enough. Yeah, I can give one if you give one, Kai.
I'll give 1.
All right, done.
All right, Guillermo, make your connections roll.
A advantage.
Oh my God, I hate this game.
You may push this, but hang on. Let's review what exactly it is that you're calling into dispatch to reroute this request, and what is it you're asking her?
I am requesting that the bus terminals, the Grand Central Station, the subway terminals, all of these areas with high traffic where people can disappear and get somewhere else, it starts getting locked down and heavily patrolled by our group, by the LAPD.
So to be clear, you are trying to redirect LAPD assets to those areas.
Correct.
You may, if you wish, make this push.
I do.
One success is a success. I will route your request, detective. So now, Kai, you wanted to add something to that.
Yeah, I want to see if we can start shutting down the streets with primarily, because I know it's a late request, primarily with, this is going to suck for everyone in this area, high traffic and lacking cameras.
You can. That will actually, unfortunately, be a turnaround of 1 shift. So they can get on it, but it will not help in this immediate moment. It's basically going to have to clear 2 desks. One, David Holden's, and his superior, which is part of the Special Operations Bureau. I forget the gentleman's name. I will look it up if it becomes important. Is this something that you want to pursue?
No. Instead, I'm going to just double down on getting an arrest warrant to the people who's inside the building for the Luminaire, which is
An arrest warrant?
if that's possible, or can we just shut it down?
You can shut it down. You have not nobody's investigated it yet. There will be uniform officers on site probably by now.
Okay.
But unless they determine that a crime has been committed by the people in Luminalux, it will not be possible to arrest them.
Okay.
Aiding and abetting a replicant.
Okay, so the front of Luminalux was smashed in. I don't. Maybe I didn't get that far.
Okay.
And he was
Got you.
taking equipment out.
Oh,
Got you. Okay. It
I thought
sounds
they were
like okay.
cooperating.
Okay. That's
got
fair.
it. Got it. He hit the place. Got it.
Yeah.
And that will become, that's not giving away any plot points. That becomes very clear. It would have become very clear had Kai just even poked her head in, which we'll say she did, and you can very clearly see that was the case.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. Changes a few things. Never
Oh,
mind.
and the drones would have picked that up. We would have seen that through the drones.
Oh, yeah.
You're
I think it was the case that...
Yeah, I want to jump in. I was trying to not interrupt. I want to make sure that was all wrapped before I jump in with a thing. All right. I want to try a thing. We're calling in. We're starting to shut down the area, but it takes time before that happens. So I've said before that Shriver gets lost in it, and that's when he actually loses the most sleep. And Shriver's got a driving skill. In it is actually he loses himself driving the streets.
Okay.
All right. And so I want to do a thing. You let me know how much this works. But I basically just want to look at Shu, tell him to shut up and listen. He's probably not saying anything. I just tell him to shut up and listen. Fife just keeps going. Doesn't matter. That doesn't stop anything. And I just want to try and drop into the flow. Like once Kai has narrowed the range and I've got the cameras and I know where he was coming from. I know what he's driving. I've got some of his motivation, some of the ideas. I want to try and get inside his mind and basically be a tracker in traffic. And I want to try and at least narrow the range because this is my turf. These are the streets. This is the airspace that I lose myself in every night. And as I go into it, in the back of my head is some of my core memory of my hands sinking into the dirt. because that's how I imagine myself dropping into the traffic, is just sinking into it as it scrapes me and envelops me, and I don't have complete control anymore.
Excellent. So let's.
I think an
Is
insight
it?
or observation.
It's going to be, I think, connections.
Ooh.
But we might. Well, hang on. We might be able to do something with this. Because you mentioned your key memory.
Hmm.
So let's explore that a bit. You, as a young teen, were on a protein farm.
Mhm.
What about this key memory applies to this situation? Was it something about the abuse that you suffered?
The voices come back, the insults, verbal assaults, the mockery, because even on a protein farm, you can still not fit in. And seeing things and understanding things in a way that nobody else in the farm does, but also knowing every time I'm going to be insulted minutes before it happens, because I know. And just knowing that, and that's the grading part. And so every time somebody comes over, I know who they are. It helps that they're family, but I know it's coming. And part of that, learning to read it, to know it's coming, and to sort of harden myself to it, is also what I connect into here, because that's what I would get lost in. That's how I would survive, is just follow the patterns and focus on that.
I've given you a humanity point, and you will get advantage. Technically, it's an advantage on this roll, but I think I think you have swayed me, and we will add your insight die, which is a D10. So roll your connections, add I think you can add it. Yeah, instead of rolling at advantage, just get that plus and add a D10,
D10's a B.
which is your insight die.
I think it's still going to make me roll advantage to click it.
Okay.
Click.
Got a success.
That was a
You
lot
may
of work.
push this roll, but let's look at this for a minute and see what one success gets you. What exactly were you hoping for as you just sort of let your mind wander and become one sort of with the city?
So he understands the flow, and he
Mhm.
wants to sink into that, but he also has to project and go, okay, I'm a truck. I'm trying to lose CCTV. As I'm running down this highway, running down this airspace, what's the turn that first jumps out at me that makes the most sense? Because that's what it is. This is tracking when you don't have a trail, is you're actually trying to read the intentions of the prey until you find your trail again. Used to teach that way back when. But that's basically what it is. And so he's trying to find that, and he will absolutely push this because this is like his obsession. He wouldn't do for less.
Now, because you do have one origami, let's see, the origami is on the D8, so you're going to be rolling another, or the origami is on the D6, so the D8. Oh no, I see. It's this is lag. It's weird. So the origami is on the D8. That means you'll be rolling a D10. That's good because that gives you 6 through 10, and 10 is a critical. So you stand a pretty good chance of getting more information. So go ahead, but you are guaranteed to take 1 resolve damage.
That's dead on. He's going back through the bad stuff.
All
Yeah.
right,
I just click
hit your push.
right?
Yep. You got that
That's what I'm
critical.
talking about.
There we go.
You know what he had for
Oh
dinner.
yeah. He is going the least place that you expect him to, and that is 2nd Street Tunnel, which is just north of the Grand Central, not further south like you would expect. But you also have another insight. He's dumping the truck in the tunnel. That's why he's taking it. He's going to go into the tunnel and never come out. Well, he has to come out on foot, except there are maintenance conduits. So, do you want to take the north side, the south side, or do you want to go into the tunnel and go into the maintenance conduits?
Hey, you okay, man? You're kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Shoe, you're dumping a truck. You're dumping it in that tunnel and you're getting on foot. Which exit are you taking? Street walking's your thing.
That's a good question. Yeah, the player doesn't know that, but I bet Shu would have an answer for that. I'm treating this like it's Jeopardy. Like, I have no idea why he's asking me this. Dumping it. Why? No, we're gonna go find. No.
I think Shu's
I
best
just
guess
assume you're
is-
up there, like you've caught up.
Oh no. It's the silence and the way you were driving was kind of freaking me out a little bit.
Do we hear that question over comms?
Ooh.
that it depends on Shriver.
Does he turn down the music long enough for us to hear it?
Fair.
No, the music actually would have been louder because that's part of what makes it work for him. But he's used to keeping the
Gotcha.
comms live too. It's actually an overstimulation thing. So, but that means the comms would have been up. I think probably though what will happen is what you hear on Shoes comm. So.
Either maintenance tunnels or he's getting to a different car.
Well, let's ask Craig. So Shu, I don't know. You make the fiction for this one.
I think he's going to take what would be the least obvious, right? So whatever's not the straight line. So he's going to be either doing a hard left or a hard right. He's not going to backtrack. So where does that put me?
Right. Well, let's consider just for a moment what you know about Rays.
Sure.
Right. He was created to be command and control and destabilization warfare.
Mm-hmm.
So his most familiar place is the shadows.
Okay. So where does that lead me to do it?
I don't know. Where do you think he's going to go?
So I guess I guess right.
You're riding on Shriver's critical.
Yeah. I mean, would it be possible that he would want to just stay in the tunnels? I mean, is that a place where he could get lost, or is this just a throughway?
Yeah, it's just a throughway. If you recall in the first movie when Deckard is driving through a tunnel, that's the Second Street tunnel.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is my space. You can't stop here and stay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
I'm asking you where he'd go out of here.
He's gonna go where he has the best chance of getting lost. So
Okay.
Where is it the most crowded?
Well, I think that would be the conduits. That would be the
Okay.
maintenance tunnels, which tie into where the tiger is roaming.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. So that's what I say. He's going where the tiger is.
So we drop a pin in that and let the team know. Are we pursuing?
Yeah.
I pull over. Dark corner. Much as I can get. I look in the mirror at the guy in the back and tell him to get out.
So annoyed, but I'm going to totally let it happen. I uncuff him.
Thank you, Chief. I'm sorry about your girlfriend.
That's
Another
what I was going to
person.
say is when he's about 5 feet away from the car, she's dead.
Well, okay, so you're saying this before the car takes off?
Huh?
Okay, I'm shooting him then.
Go ahead and take a shot.
I
mean,
pulled well off the road.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. But
Oh, come on.
I'll be over here if you guys need me.
When you fire, I think Rue wasn't expecting it, and he stops, back still towards you. If you don't push, he's going to continue walking off into the night. But
I slam the door shut and just say, "Go." Like I'll find him later. I'll deal with this later. And I don't think I fully have registered even what you've said, Shriver. So like, I'm prioritizing. Not happy about it.
So
Gotcha,
Guillermo,
buddy.
We're gonna have another 7 episodes of me burning the whole city down.
what are we doing, Guillermo?
Is there any hints, any leads from the APBs and the activities that we're spending resources
Quick question:
on?
would this be a good time to take a break?
It
Yes.
absolutely would be.
All right, perfect, great. We'll be back in 10.
welcome back. So, we are on the cusp. I think everybody gathers together at a single point before you guys sort of go off in search of this mystery replicant or Rays who has probably gone underground. Now, Guillermo, you sent Serena Devine to do some legwork or wheelchair work,
Well done,
spinner chair
Connell.
work.
But
So, what were
What did the blind
she
man see?
she comes back with a she comes back with some information. What are you lacking that you would like to have filled in?
Really, just I mean, the original thought was her combing through the cameras and the CCTVs and anything else that she can comb through and see if there's any leads based on that fire at the Canaan Energy headquarters. Um, but quickly, once we realize what's happening over in Sector 5 at the Lumina Lux,
Mhm.
is that right? I think we want to. I definitely want to redirect her to focus her attention on that because that is the priority to give us some assistance and start looking into what was taken, who was affected, what they see, what was said. Ask the standard detective questions and
This
start
is not my
documenting that.
first day on the job, Guillermo.
Serena, I should have known. I'm sorry, sweetie. You're absolutely right. I will back off. Please just help me
Sweetie?
out because I need it. I need the help. Yeah, that's a term of endearment from my generation. So.
Make a one Chinian or one promotion point and make your connections roll at advantage.
Guillermo has a way with the ladies.
I winked.
Now, you're rolling, basically, you're kind of rolling for her. So you may push this if you'd like.
So she would suffer the negative consequence? Or would I?
Unfortunately not,
No.
because you're racking your brains.
Yeah, no, I'll let it lay.
Okay.
I'll keep the one success.
I will, and I'll let you know what I find. So you guys find yourself outside of the 2nd Street Tunnel. Now, it's taken a little bit of time for you to cross LA, for everybody to sort of congregate in this position. So we're going to advance the shift clock by 1, which inflicts 1 more resolve damage on Shriver, who's, I don't know if you're flagging, but you definitely begin to feel it a little bit. But once again, you can counteract that with your once per shift specialty. So we're good with that?
Yeah, the smokes they are coming, but the bags are also they're growing.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you guys have called this in. And so real quick, the APBs have not come back with any hits, unsurprising, since you're pretty sure you know where he is. And your Guillermo, remind me what your role to get surveillance on the bus stations and public transit. Is that right?
Yeah, we got one success. Yeah,
one success.
Burley.
There is no unusual activity yet. They have rounded up the usual suspects, but they are continuing to surveil for the next 24 hours.
Okay,
how's that?
That's fantastic.
Okay. What precautions are we taking before we go into the tunnel?
We've got standard LAPD spinners here, right? So there must be a bigger weapon kit in the trunk in the something. Is there?
No,
actually?
No, not really. You have your personal weapons. You have sent. I'm assuming that you guys have sent drones into the tunnel. His truck is indeed there, and there is no sign of him. But it looks like he has abandoned his equipment that he stole from Luminolux.
A Question. Do I
Yes, ma'am.
still have the police undershirt and Ender assault
Yes,
rifle?
yes, you do actually.
Okay.
Everybody, I think everybody has the shirt.
Okay.
Well, actually,
That
thank you for
rifle.
reminding me that it's quite
Because that's
possible it would have soaked some of the damage. So I tell you what, as a trade-off, why doesn't everybody who has suffered any damage go ahead and just restore that? But yes, whoever has the Ender rifles still has them with them.
okay.
Cool.
I'm gonna look at the team and say, who's a better shot than me?
Shivers like, or shoes like.
I'm fine with shooting.
I'm pretty damn good at
I'm a 10-8.
firearms. I'm a 12-8.
Oh, nice.
I'm a 10-10. I'm gonna
I'm a
pass
10-6.
my
You
rifle.
might want to take my gun away.
I'm gonna pass my rifle to Guillermo.
Kai, you sure?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Do you have a sidearm or something?
Of course,
do
yeah, I have
might-
my normal gun. Yeah, I'm not going to near naked.
Oh wow, God, Guillermo's packing. He's got a 357 subcompact.
Won't say it. I almost blurted it out too. I almost did it too. Are we 30 minutes in so I can say it?
Or you could.
Unless you feel like someone else having it will be better.
I'd be happy to take this because for some reason I
He's
missed
the
the
best shot.
memo.
Give him the gun.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm getting impatient. I'm like,
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Head straight in.
All right.
Are you blocking off the traffic?
Yes. Flares, stop it.
I'll actually fold that into your earlier request to surveil. So you've had actually uniforms close off both ends of the tunnel while you explore. Make whoever has the highest make an observation check at advantage.
Not me.
I'm
I'm
at
at
8-8.
10-10.
That's Jesus.
8-6. I can't see anything.
12-12.
Well, damn.
Oh, his Schwartz is bigger than mine.
That is a lot.
Finally.
It goes to 4?
You got X-ray vision.
You can
Technically, you
smell
can
his
get
fart.
6.
I'm seeing the dark.
Wow.
Couldn't shoot it.
So,
but, you know.
what information you get? There's actually more information out there if you'd like to push. That's up to you.
I think 4 successes in this world, he's feeling pretty good about it.
Okay. What? So I assume that you're checking out the truck at this point, the ground vehicle. What about it is most interesting to Shriver? There's some equipment in the back. The engine is still running, actually.
Okay. I mean,
And it is parked in proximity to the maintenance entrance.
one of the first things he's gonna be looking for is if there's anything's rigged.
Explosives, you
mean,
mean?
yeah.
No.
Okay. So that's one. Okay, I gotcha. So nothing rigged on the explosives or anything like that. So stolen truck. I want to find out where the truck came from. So that's easy piece of information, I think, probably.
You call that in immediately,
Yeah,
and a
okay.
few moments later, while we're sort of going, through this scene, it comes back that it was purchased illegally from Crazy Legs Larry
God damn it, Larry.
auto store
Mhm.
in Sector 2, Hysteria Hall. is the location.
Okay. Pass that off to somebody else. Okay.
Oh, and it was purchased the shift after he beat down Zula.
All right. So this is a parkway. Like he's just parked right off on the side of the tunnel. So we're talking. This is greasy. This is spotted. This is just rough terrain and all that. Has anything else parked here? Any other vehicle been parked here?
No.
Anytime in the last day or two? Okay, so this is the first thing to arrive here and in the grease and settle in a while.
Yeah, I mean, there's been plenty of traffic, but if you're asking if somebody picked him up, the answer is no.
Or if he'd scouted the location.
So you do notice some foot traffic. It is as if he sort of jumped out of the vehicle, grabbed something from the back, and then went into the maintenance tunnel. Is the best that you can sort of piece together.
Okay. Then looking in the back, how much space is missing? When people pack the back, okay, so he just stole a thing, sure. But if he's other things he doesn't want them to get smashed, discarded, like I'm not looking for the wrench. What gap, what space is missing?
Are you asking me what he took?
Well, I don't think I can get that far out of without actually seeing what it is, but is it bigger than a bread box?
Rolled 4 successes.
No, your guess is that he got a gun.
Like the shotgun we know he has?
Probably.
Okay.
I will not count that against your successes.
Okay. Gosh, what to even get out of the vehicle that he drove here?
Are you interested in the equipment?
Itself, I thought we were getting that itemized and inventoried.
The stuff that's in the back of his truck?
Yeah, I look at the equipment in his truck.
A lot of it is in your wheelhouse. So a lot of it is electronic surveillance equipment, or stuff that can be used for electronic surveillance. Some of it did not come from Lumina Lux. You think some of it must have come from Canaan as well.
Okay.
But a lot of the other bits are just powerful personal computers and some sort of biohacking equipment.
Okay, so we're not talking quick battlefield surveillance. We're talking somebody who's setting up an operation that's long term.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Okay.
So it's an observation roll, not a connections roll, but I think I'll give you this one. Yeah, this is indicating that he's setting up a headquarters of some sort, which would the reason I'm giving it to you is because his specialty is destabilization.
Right. But it also tells me this guy is a longer term plan. He's not looking to die. We've been seeing a lot of guys who are quick to burn out.
It's interesting.
Yep. And it takes up a lot of power too.
Okay.
Guillermo, because it happened so many sessions ago, why don't you make us a connections roll?
Is it on advantage for my perk, or is it not for acquiring?
Okay. Nope, just normal roll. You may not push this one since it's just sort of trying to trigger a memory. It's something about power, though. Anything else that you're interested in?
Catching up with this raise. Almost called it Riza.
Okay.
Y'all
I think
ready?
Shriver may have had one more observation success if you can think of something.
Where do you think he's going, Shriver?
I timed it perfectly.
Worst, yeah.
Just like it's all those years in table service. I know exactly when to ask the
precisely
question.
the thing you should not do when you've got a mic strapped to your head is eat things, especially that crunch. Look, he's going to set up. This is all stuff he meant to transport to a base. He parked it here. He didn't mean to leave it here. And nothing is indicating that he knew we were chasing. Nothing that I've spotted indicates he knew we were on him. So, assuming he meant to be able to get back to this stuff, he can't be that far away. And we might be too close to his base, but he's going to need a lot of power. So, it's someplace that he can plug in. That's my guess.
Remind me our AI assistant on the Kias.
Dispatch.
Yeah. Hey, dispatch. This is Shu. You can see where we are. We're looking for something that's a huge source of power. Some place where somebody can plug in and get a ton of juice. What can you find for us?
That will take some time, detective. But I'll search all the records, or all the I'll search all the grid for power spikes.
I'm not looking for power spikes, dispatch. I really don't think I'm supposed to have to walk you through this. I don't think this is how you're supposed to work. I want you to pull out a map, dispatch, and I want you to look on the map and tell me what's near us that has a lot of power. And I like turn to you, Trevor. I'm like, how do you even talk to this thing?
Wow.
All right, so you are at 2nd Street Tunnel. Near you is the Grand Central Market. And Little Tokyo, of course, is pretty close. Little Tokyo is hopping all 24 hours. And that encompasses a lot of the night spots, what they call the electric sykes, which are so much neon spilling onto the rain-soaked streets, it looks like an electric river, a river of neon. That's pretty much it. Financial district doesn't really draw a lot of power.
So what's the answer, dispatch?
Well, Little Tokyo seems to be the biggest source.
Does that jive with you, Schreiber?
I mean, yeah, but we're looking for one guy in Little Tokyo.
That's why we brought you, bookworm.
Do you see where my feet are right now? Do you see this where we're standing right now? This looks a lot like a street, and standing on a street. Shu. This
All right,
is
let's
you.
go. So I'm actually going to turn to you, Diaz. What do you think, Guillermo? What's your gut say? Chase him here in the catacombs, or
Yeah.
do we go to Little Tokyo and trust that that's where he's going?
No, I think we tackle this from two part. I'm going to reach out to my contacts within another department or agency, and spend 2 promotion points to reach out to Power Grid Company A and look for recently elevated power usage in absurd amounts to help us pinpoint in Sector 5 where we can. It's going to take a shift. I know it's going to take time, but I'm going to make sure that process is started, and we're barreling in this tunnel, and we're looking for this. We're either coming across an Animoid or Riza. I know it's Rays, but Riza now.
So let me ask, before we get to that, then let me ask: Are you going underground? Or are you going to head to Little Tokyo?
We're
So
going
I think that's what we're
underground.
trying to figure out, right? But it sounds like I mean I defer to the vet here, so it sounds like you're saying let's go underground.
Let's go
Because
underground and in parallel working out power to hone in on.
so, not to override you or any attempt to do that, but since you've brought it up, He has a head start underground, presumably in an area that he knows somewhat more familiarly than you, although you do have schematics that you can pull up on your Kia. But he does have a significant head start. So if you were to weigh in your mind what the best lead is, it probably is Little Tokyo. And I like your idea about the connections, about the power company. So why don't you spend 2 Chinian
Is
and
that
make your
promo?
connections roll instead of promotions, because this is going for sort of a more civilian company.
So,
Okay.
question for you, Connell.
Yeah, sure.
He went into these tunnels,
Mhm.
and we're thinking he's headed to Little Tokyo. Are we saying that that's from here to there? This is not a shortcut or anything. I'm trying to figure out why he did this, right? So he's abandoned the truck with all the equipment in it.
Mhm.
And here's my fear, and this is for the
Right.
four of us. My fear is, yes, his headquarters might be in Little Tokyo, but is that where he's going? Is what's happening right now make any sense? Do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
Mm.
I want to find him, not where he sleeps at night, unless he's in there.
Well, if he did ditch the truck, it means he knows we were close. He knows he didn't lose us entirely, or he thought we were going to catch up to him before we could clean out his stash. It takes time to gather all this. So he gave up resources to hoof it.
Exactly.
So he might just be going to ground, and we're not going to catch up to him. He might be waiting in ambush, and he's spec ops. We're investigators.
Is it near? I assume it's near impossible, Connell, for us to cover all entrances and exits, right? This is
Oh,
just
yeah.
a maze.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like I said with the Tiger, you can
Yeah.
pretty much go anywhere if you know where the egress points are. And there's so many ruined substrates of in Los Angeles now that if he had been scouting them out, there's literally very little chance that you're going to find him if he doesn't want to be found.
So what do we do? Grab a bite to eat, go to bed, and then go to Little Tokyo tomorrow? What are we thinking?
It won't hurt to check out Little Tokyo now. But I look at Shriver, we may need rest.
I kick a can and walk off to my spinner and close the doors and leave.
Well,
Now,
go ahead.
Little
Unless somebody wants to
Tokyo
stop me.
is only an option because we think it has the most power
It's our guess. Yeah.
conception. So it's literally throwing a dart on the wall saying
Well,
that looks like it may have more
your
power.
idea of contacting the power coordination, right?
Yeah, I'm suggesting we do two things at the same time because it's going to take time to either go to Little Tokyo and figure that out, or we let that happen and we do good old detective work and chase what we know, not chase what we don't know. That's why I'm recommending we go head in and figure this thing out.
Head into Tokyo or the catacombs?
The catacombs.
If
Shriver, you're taking off, right?
I think I'm walking. You guys have a chance
Yeah.
to grab me if you're looking for bodies. But
Yeah, I'm just gonna yell at you. I'm like, what's your gut say, Bookworm? Is he planning like something to happen tomorrow or tonight or a week from now? Like, what kind of planning are you picking up here?
you don't set up surveillance for something you're doing this afternoon. You set up surveillance for a longer plan. But either way, he's either ditched this and knows we're coming, and that, points at the doorway, could be a death trap. Or he's on the move for something else, and we have things. Watch this and see if he stumbles backwards. We might get lucky.
Guillermo,
where else?
I've got. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Kai.
Oh, where else can we get equipment like this?
Make a connections roll.
Okay.
You can make it an advantage. You guys can put your heads together. So
Okay.
whoever's actually got the highest connections can make it. At
I'm at
advantage.
1210.
Yeah, she's the highest we've
Yeah,
determined.
go ahead and
that.
give yourself a advantage to that.
My connections are crud, but I would know the tech side better, so I might be able to give some advice on that.
2 successes.
Wallace Corp.
Wallace Corp.
I'm just gonna shrug.
Wallace Corp, the financial district.
DS, I want to get this guy as bad as you, but, and it really hurts to say this, I think Shriver's right, and I think we need to be a little bit smarter about this. You've got your people at the power company. Let's see if we can't get a little bit smaller circle. And if this guy has got a long-term plan, let's figure out where the hell it's coming from.
So let's do this. Guillermo, pay those 2 Chinian and make that connections roll at advantage.
Do you even have 2 Chinian? I'm broke.
I
Like,
just spent
do
my
you
last
need money?
one.
Yeah, you can collectively pull the Chinian.
I'll
I
give you
got-
1 Chinian if you.
I had it. I'm good.
Okay.
Who are these people rolling in dough?
I know, I'm broke as shit.
Like, I got just enough to keep me in cigarettes and noodles. It's not.
Listen, I live in a shitty apartment.
You're patched into the evening supervisor. Yeah, who is this? This is some Blade Runner?
Who am I calling?
The power company. The
The
power
power
supervisor.
company. Yeah. This is Diaz with the LAPD. I need you to. I need to call in a favor. If I need my superior to authorize additional permissions, whatever you need, I'll get it back. But I need Sector 5 evaluated, analyzed for excessive use of power, and kind of figuring out if there's been any elevated areas that could be of concern or out of the ordinary.
Hey,
You got resources to pull on that now?
I don't think you know what you're asking, buddy. Little Tokyo is like a sink. You don't understand how much power that thing pulls down day and night. And I've got this lady who's put in like a dozen tickets, and she's just she keeps saying somebody's stealing her power.
A, not my concern, but B, you're going to do this. This is absolutely a priority and a
Who's
requirement.
the lady?
No, I like it.
He tells you that it is oh my god, your GM has forgotten the name. Something Kombini. One of the in Little Tokyo, which is sort of patterned after real life Tokyo, there are convenience stores, and they're called Konbini. And they have freezer sections, and they draw a lot of power.
This is the freaking lady that told you that she was stealing power like 4 episodes ago.
So he gives you the address.
That's why I didn't put any stock in this comment until it's obvious there's stock in it.
Mhm.
Should I write
And-
this down? Jesus, hold on.
Yeah, so I think as the
credits,
chagrin
but-
settles
okay.
down upon Guillermo, the camera sort of just focuses in on his writing, and let's go to credits.
All right,
on
let's
this
go to
one.
credits.
Mm.
We'll be right back to talk about the game.
That's fair. All right.
So
Well,
we figured out that this would have been like 3 episodes
Mhm.
had Diaz
Mhm.
followed the lead at the very beginning about the old lady telling him that someone's drawing power. So, so you got to take care of the shopkeepers. That's all I'm saying. Go ahead.
What's the
Kate.
thing?
She wasn't
So-
vivacious enough.
So how do we feel about the story today? Is anything any combination sort of settled in and some things made sense?
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously he's got a big plans, right? And we got this hoo-ha about the resistance kind of rising up. I would assume there's some connection there. But I as a player and as a character, I can say for Shu, I have never felt closer. And I don't know about the 3 of you, but I'm feeling like let's go to grab some noodles, crash. Hopefully Diaz is going to get some more information. Shriver's probably not going to sleep. He's going to poke around. I feel like, and maybe it's part of my frustration with what happened in front of the tea house. Like I feel like we need a plan, and we definitely have been operating now without one. And I feel like we have enough information that we can put one together. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like it's because we're such like lone wolf creatures as Blade
Mhm.
Runners. We're now finally getting together and actually like, oh, you are useful. Like I
That is-
can trust you.
And that's a very good point, I think, that I don't think can be overstated. Blade runners are by nature solitary hunters, and you're sort of being forced to work together. And maybe this is the moment that you the cohesiveness begins to show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or at least overlapping skill sets. We're still
Yes.
cohesive might be a push.
It's a
but
strong
yeah.
word.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We're learning each other.
I can
Do
tell you
this. No, I'm gonna do this. Well,
I can
okay.
tell you in character, and Shu would never say it to Shriver, but he was very impressed with what Voodoo Shriver did to get us to where we are. But he would never tell you that. So
Well, we stumbled into a thing. Was like, and I was thinking, it's like this was one of. I wrote like 3 things down about Shriver at the start of the game, and one of them was that he drives.
yeah,
Like that's his thing. That's
Yep.
why I
Drives.
skilled up driving. So as we walked in there, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're doing that. Okay.
no,
The rest of it we sort of spun off based off Colin's questions, and we built from there. But I did enjoy the moments where like Shu and Shriver trying to like approach a fight together and just not being on the same page speaks, I think, exactly what Deka's saying. It's like, yeah, we're still not teammates, and that's quite that level.
So let me ask you about that real quick. So Rue Hoskins, who when you connect the dots, you know that Cherny Berrig owns Paradise Evolution, and that he's obviously some sort of an enforcer, so that he works for Cherny Berrig, which is an Eastern European syndicate, yet he is clearly a climate refugee from New Orleans. What's that doing for you, for your understanding of the story, the larger narrative? I think.
I don't think I'm there yet, Connell. Other
Maybe
than
we'll
like
get
obviously big players are in play, right? But I feel like that's LA, right? That's I
Right.
mean, right? Oh, shocker! Wallace Corp is behind some bad shit, like big surprise, right? So, and I think there's, I feel like we're a bit insensitive to that. But I can tell you, like as a character, I don't think Shu. I don't think I've pieced that together.
Same. It's the kind of things like we live in that world. It's like,
Right.
yep, mobs involved.
Oh,
Got it.
we're not surprised.
Yeah.
I'd say Kai thinks it's something huge, especially
Mm,
with forget the second company's name involvement and their loose replicant, and then having also replicant escape like the mining colonies to come down here that we also put down. So it's excitement, and
So
the tiger is involved with all of it.
yeah, so certainly from Kai's perspective, where the tiger is, where Ray's is, the tiger seems to be at this point, right?
Mhm.
So Guillermo, this is well, Nick, this is the first, this is the first prelude. Well, not the first prelude, but it's the first time Guillermo hasn't been, and certainly Guillermo's prowess has not been sort of a focal point of the story. What did you make of the prelude? Because now it gives you a little bit of should have given you a little bit of insight into Ray's and sort of Canaan Corporation.
No, for sure. No, it was good trying to piece the story together and getting that context. I think what's really happening is at least on Guillermo's side of things, is he's the seasoned guy that's used to like the typical buddy cop movie shows where one guy wants to do the traditional lead, follow, hunt it down, and there's a new generation of people that do it differently. And Guillermo's wanting to do his own thing in his own way, and nobody wants to follow. Everybody's got their own idea of how to approach this. Is like, no, this is how we do it. So he's has his own quarrel to figure out that if he settles and lets things lay and follows suit with the group, or goes against the grain and forces a conversation, or fucks off and does his own thing, right?
so in these different prototypes or stereotypes, I should say, are you Danny Glover, Mel Gibson, or Eddie
I'm
Murphy?
too old for this shit. I'm too old for this shit.
You're all right. Danny Glover,
Clear-
got
clear.
That answered it. Yep.
Oh, I was thinking more like Popeye Doyle,
it.
Is that Starsky or Hutch? Or...
French Connection.
I'm I'm curious if DS is ever going to like yell at all of us because we have been
Line us up and-
bulldozing. Yeah.
So let me ask the chat, if anyone's there, if they have any questions about or observations about what's going on, what their favorite parts of the story have been so far, and we
keep
can
an
get
eye on
to stars and wishes.
Where are we starting, Connell?
I want to go Shriver first. Jesse, this is so you actually had some successes this time.
I
Some
think I
notable.
absorbed all the luck for the party. As honestly, I think what happened here. Yeah. So, stars. I did like. I know it's dumb, but I liked seeing the story playing out of Shu not in his element and having the bad rolls and having the tumbles and the fumbles and just seeing that sort of play out. I was like, yeah, this is what it would be like if you were not the guy doing this.
Yep.
And I enjoy moments like that in stories as well. I mean, you don't want to see it constantly, but and so in a weird way, Craig's failures was my star, and I appreciate that. It's quite enjoyable.
Just so I know Jesse, he
Yeah.
says that all the time.
This is true.
I find joy in Craig's failures. That's why he's my friend.
Not wrong, that guy. Except most of the time. Wishes is actually a little bit of a callback, and I don't know if this was just an accident of word choice, but way back, like two episodes back, which is a while back now, Shu was talking to an informant about the guy we now know to be Rise, and the informant said this guy was trying to get into the underground. And I would love to follow up on that word.
Ooh, I don't remember
try,
that. Good
because
memory.
the implication there is that the underground maybe didn't want him.
Oh, I don't remember
Speci-
that. Good memory.
Specifically, that was when Shu and Iris were in the tea house,
Yep.
and she said, because most of what Iris could say about the underground fights is all hearsay. What she did witness, because she's a part of the replicant underground, the sort of liaison. She knows that Felix Dartman joined the underground and tried to bring Rays into it, but that the leader, Freysa, uh, rejected him because Michael Voronov, head of the Cherny Barracks Syndicate, was the one ferrying underground replicants off world. And she didn't want to rock the boat by taking in Rays, who was at the time Voronov's cash cow in the fights. So that's, yeah, that was that conversation.
Okay.
So what was the wish? You wanted more of that? You wanted to follow up on that?
I think you just answered it. So I was like, oh, all right. There
Talk to Freysa, who Guillermo has worked with in the past, if he's been on the force this long. Craig.
My star is a dull one because I keep saying it in some form or another. I feel like I'm in a Blade Runner story, which I think I love. I feel LA. I feel the setting. It's a tribute to you, Connell. It's a tribute to the system, right? I love like the little tiny mechanics that Free League has in here that makes this a police procedural. When I backed this way back when it was Kickstarted at first, I did it just as a like, I want to support Free League, because believe it or not, at that time they weren't as dominant of a publisher as they are now. They were still pretty green. And I think the big surprise I had about this game is how mechanically supportive it is of telling a police procedural. So you've heard Connell, bring in the mechanics here, and the mechanics are built around, calling into dispatch and, paying to have, things happen. And I don't know what I expected from this game, but that was a surprise. When I got the game and read through it, I was like, oh, this is a little bit different than what I thought was going to be. And it's what makes it different. So that part I dig. And I appreciate kind of you really showcasing those mechanics to make it truly it's a police procedural game, even though it's set, as the dystopian future.
And I'm actually heartened to hear you say that about the locations, because my philosophy as a GM is really the rules are the rules are out of my hands, right? As a GM, that's what that is. My job is really to put the time and place. If I can just bring that out, that I think it does most of the work, and so that every location feels unique. So I'm glad that that's landing that way.
No question. What I'm wishing for, don't get me wrong, the guy that killed the Blade Runner, I want him dead. Right? We need to retire this replicant. But oh my God, my man who had the slap fight with, who just killed Iris, all of it's getting burned down. All of it is. Even if it happens like after episode whatever, when we're done and he's retired and we're like, my epilogue is all of it's burning.
Do you mind if we talk about that for just a moment? Because
Depends.
the way it
I'm
was
a little sensitive right now.
the way it's set up, right? You very specifically sent Iris off. You confronted him. He gave his shotgun to his two thugs and sent them away. So the way that it played out, and he very clearly had, in hindsight at least, had the agenda of tying you down so that you didn't go to her rescue.
I had no thoughts that that's what was happening. Totally missed that.
From a dramatic point of view, was that cool, or do you feel blindsided by it?
Oh no, not at all. I think it was fantastic. I think it's fantastic. Like, yeah. I think the worst part about this for Shu is that he realizes he was played completely. Mm-hmm. And the reason he's going to burn everything down, I don't know if I brought that up yet, is because out of guilt.
Okay.
I feel somewhat responsible that I allowed this to happen. I did not see it.
Guillermo. Nick.
Star. Shadika killed it with that her natural reaction to the animoid barreling into.
Cool. That was very
Just
cool.
watching your face just go. It was priceless, and it was real in both in character and in real life. So it was awesome to see that. So the way you handled your character in that, I loved it. That was a star in my book. And then as far as Wish goes, at least on Guillermo's side, I really wish to take more risks with him and start pushing the narrative as opposed to trying to play it safe and be buddy cop with everybody. It's getting to the point where there's we all signed up for some danger on our plate. At the end of the day, we got to go out and tackle what's in front of us. And so it's more of a wish for myself to kind of ping me in that right direction of going balls to the wall into that tunnel, regardless of who comes with me or not, damn it. But that's the wish for myself.
So you're actually, you want a little danger, is that right? You want the action?
I think I've been playing it on the safe side as
Okay.
and I need to change that up.
I'm interested to see how you react to what's coming up.
Let's do it.
So Dika, I saved you for last because we spoke off camera, I think during break. The tiger has been tracking you since the first or second episode, and it's only because of this unique confluence of events that you went to Sector 1, and Ray's hitting Luminolux was always going to happen because that's one of the countdown events. So it appears that it all sort of is connected. And I've been looking forward to this scene to see how you would react. And it was, again, as Nick points out, it's a star moment that I was quite frankly shocked that you shrugged off all the resolve damage. That it was nothing to you. And the way you rationalized it and the way you played it, I think was just a star moment. So speak a little bit about that and then give us your stars and wishes.
Okay. First and foremost, when you made me do the observation roll, Kai's horrible at that. I was like, whatever's out here, I'm not going to see it. That's fine. And then the tiger happened. I was like, I know this tiger has been following me this entire goddamn time when I've been looking for it this entire time. And I was like, okay, that's what you confirmed it off screen. But during the actual attack, it took everything in my soul to react like Shadika, to react like Kai instead of myself. I would have shot the tiger personally, but I'm like, Kai is a lot more. She thinks through things. It hurt her, but didn't maul her. Don't react. It's fine.
So what do you think would have happened had you shot it?
Oh,
shot
I
at it.
Clawed my face off. Absolutely. I think whatever, maybe I could be completely wrong about this. It took my scent. It will know where to find me at again, possibly. And maybe it sees me as a friendly.
Well, so yes, it did. It took your scent and it left of its own accord.
What was the deal with the roar into the sky, like as it was leaving? Like, what was the deal there?
Just like, letting it know letting you know that it was around. So I mean, how does she interpret that then?
Unsure. Maybe she will have a pet tiger. Put it on a police force. That would be great.
You need a bigger apartment.
That's true. But it wasn't trying to scare me. The first roar definitely was trying to get me in a place of terror, I'm assuming. Second roar, not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, unsure.
Well, because Kai, into putting everything through my
Mhm.
filter as a storyteller and seeing how everything has unfolded it to this point, you were the one who put two and two together that it has some degree of understanding. It has some degree
Yes.
of, if not true empathy, um, reverence for life, because it did shroud, this mutated rat. And to see, so in my mind, it made perfect sense that she wasn't shaken, Kai wasn't shaken.
Mhm.
So she had this, as a replicant herself, this insight that, this sort of making this connection.
Not just a monster. Can able to do horrible things, but not a monster.
Interesting.
Do you think at all that it sniffed you and let you go because you are a replicant as well?
No, because it was a part of the underground replicant ring. So absolutely not.
Fair enough.
Um it I think it has an interest in her specifically. Not sure why yet. Because it's been stalking her
Mhm.
for a while. Because it would be easy just to attack her when she was alone with Shu or even Guillermo. It just chose not to. So I don't know.
Well, stars and wishes.
Oh, star. Few different stars.
Oh,
Shriver's driving and how he explained that section was great, and Shu's missing that last final shot on
on Rue.
Rue, because I'm like, okay, this is going to be something we might got to follow up with later. Maybe she will ask for help, maybe not. We'll see what happens. Mhm. Wishes. I want to see where that goes. I want to see if Rue ever fight back, or we'll just keep on not wanting to not wanting to kill a Blade Runner because that's bad for business.
Very interesting. You said you had a couple other stars though.
Oh, the Tiger unveiling, and I just
Oh.
enjoy watching Guillermo deal with genuinely a bunch of independent Blade Runners, and he's been set up as the lead. You're running this, Kate. You're the vet. And when we were all near each other, we were like, "Yeah, we're gonna do 4 different things." He's like, "Wait a second, no."
And poor Guillermo, Nick's character has pretty good presence in representation in physical attributes and even a little bit of tech, but his dump stat was charisma. He has an empathy of like D6.
That's funny. How about yours, Rick McConnell? Your stars and wishes.
Well, yeah, star is Dika, and of course, I just wish that you continue to explore this world.
Are we still in Act 2 or have you moved to Act 3?
If it is a 3-act structure, you're actually only about halfway through Act 2. I think you're at the peak.
If we went in the tunnel, would we be at 3?
No, we're Act 1 then, with new characters.
If we
We
went to the tunnel, we
And
have
dead.
half
We're
many
done.
players.
It's dead,
There was nothing in the tunnel. I didn't really know how to tell you. Don't go into the tunnel. There's nothing there.
Next time, just let us. Every time.
Nothing from the chat.
No, we didn't see anything from the chat.
All
So real quick, this Saturday is Eat the Reich, Grant Howard game. You don't want to miss this. It is going to be a tremendous amount of fun. You'll be very happy when you see who we have got to play this game. I had a chance to run a practice run with some patrons on Sunday, and it was even more fun than I anticipated. And then a week from this Thursday, we've got Sentinel Comics. And then, of course, we are back March 3rd, Monday, March 3rd, 2 weeks from today, to figure out how do we get Diaz out of the goddamn tunnels. Thanks, all.
Howdy friends, thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.